Hey yo, what is pop? And it's your boy Fizz, and I am bringing guys the MPL Majors Week 6 battle, and I'm going up against the Flying Bird, coach of the New South Wailmers. So, yeah, we're bouncing off our win against Arashi the other week. Pretty hectic week in regards to like the replaying and stuff like that. But we're now 2-3. Definitely want to go even at this point. I don't think. Well, I went 1-1 against Nick, and that's the last time I was 500. So hopefully we can go back to 500 in even record here and maybe even go above 500, which I have not done yet this season. So definitely want to win this battle here. It's going to be very, very pivotal in regards to me making playoffs, stuff like that. So this is a huge game for us to win, and I'm definitely going to be trying my best here to pick up that W. So, yeah, man, here against Bird, he has a very scary team, and it consists of the Torn T, Mega Metacham, Garchomp, Heatran, Shaman, Silvally, Araquanid, Drapion, Rotom Frost, Granbull, and the Licky Tongue. So he has really, really good offense. The first three Pokemon that you see on the screen are completely terrifying against me. Torn T, I just simply have no switch-ins to. My best switch-in is Suicune, but that gets bodied by like Life Orb Hurricanes or Z Hurricanes, stuff like that, you know. And at this point, I see no reason for him to not run like a Z Hurricane set, you know, because my resist is an Excadrill, and then I just get like super powered or Focus Blasted. It's just not a good time switching into Torn T, so I really need to play my best around that. Mega Metacham it's not that bad because I have a Kofag, and I have things that can revenge that thing decently well, even though I don't naturally outspeed it that much. Garchomp it's kind of checked by my two waters I can set up in front of it with my Gyarados. I have a Rotom that can switch into an Earthquake, stuff like that, so I kind of have that checked, but of course there's no such thing as a true Garchomp check. But at least it's not Z. If it was a Z Outrage set, that would have been very terrifying. And then the rest of his team is just pretty annoying to play against, standard stuff. Shaman is super annoying for my team to break. It's just going to be such a pain to take down. I definitely expect it to come. No reason for it not to. So, yeah, he has a really good team. It's going to be really hard to switch in that Torn pretty much and break that Shaman. Those are my two problems with this game. But not going to waste any time here. I'm just going to jump right into the team that I decided to bring. First off, I decided to bring the Mega Gyarados with the D-Dance, Waterfall, Crunch, and the Ice Fang. So, I like my Gyarados more bulky in this matchup because I'm able to take a Garchomp hit, I can D-Dance up on it, I can heal with Ice Fang the next turn, I can take a Heatran hit, I can take a Silvally hit, Araquanid, Rotom Frost potentially, Drapion, I can take all sorts of hits from that. I can set up and then go ham on his team because his best switch into a D-Dancing Gyarados is going to be that Shaman. And if I can get it chipped with a Crunch or an Ice Fang or whatever, it's going to be really good for my Excadrill late game. So this is a really nice tool to help with the Excadrill, and I outspeed everything at +1, I outspeed the Torn. But the thing prohibiting this thing from getting up a speed boost is going to be those webs right there. So that's going to be my next objective, to try to get rid of the webs, and this is the best option I had. My defoggers aren't super good. Like, I have a Rotom, I have Hawlucha and Excadrill. Hawlucha, I'm not ever running defog on that thing. But yeah, this is the best bet for me to get rid of the webs and help prevent it. So my idea was just to lead with the Excadrill always, no reason for me not to. Whatever he leads against, I'm going to lead with the Excadrill. Well, I guess I'm going to be leading anyway. So Rock Slide is there, so I'm able to kill or at least put a huge dent to that Araquanid. And I can Rapid Spin it next turn if he decides to go for webs the first turn. I can pressure a lot of things out with an Earthquake, with a Rock Slide, Poison Jab, stuff like that. Didn't really need Iron Head in this matchup. And offensive Excadrill was kind of suspicious because, like, Shaman, it's right there, you know, like, I can't really break that. +2, I don't have Z. It's just a real pain to break the Shaman, so Poison Jab is going to be the best bet. And I honestly anticipate Shaman always leading against me. My two rockers are the Excadrill Hippowdon, and the best thing I can punish Shaman with is a Garbodor, and that doesn't look really good against his team, like, at all. So I definitely anticipate him to lead with the Shaman. So this is a good counter lead to that Shaman, or just get rid of webs turn 1 and prevent it from getting up. So yeah, overall this is a really weird set, but it's the one I decided to rock with. It's really weird, really bad, but I had to bring this for the webs. Next up, I have my Choice Scarf Rotom. So this is my form of speed control. I outspeed everything on his team, unless it's like a Scarf Garchomp or something. And yeah, this is really nice because I'm able to pivot around his team sort of really nicely as a really good pivot, because Garchomp doesn't necessarily want to switch in, right? It can take a Leaf Storm, which does a really solid chunk to it. It can take an HP Ice, as you can see. Will-O-Wisp as well. Toxic doesn't appreciate either. So it's not going to be a hard switch into the Rotom. So I can spam Volt Switch pretty easily against his team. And it does a lot of damage. I'm able to outspeed the Torn and potentially put a huge dent in that thing. And HPS is there in case I need to revenge Chomp and I can HPS that thing. And I have Trick on here, so like I said before, Garchomp is his ground. He doesn't really want to switch into the Rotom Mow with that, so his best switch in on his team to the Rotom is probably going to be that Shaman because it resists both of my stabs. I can Trick a Scarf on that thing, and it's just going to be dead weight, and then my Gyarados can take advantage of that really nicely in this matchup. And yeah, that's going to be my plan. I put Trick over Defog on it because I felt like crippling the Shaman was much more important than getting rid of webs, and I have a pretty reliable way of getting rid of the webs regardless. Like a Sash Excadrill is a really premier way to get rid of those webs and prevent them from going up. So yeah, it's really bulky here, a little special attack, and I think I really like this set a lot. It's going to be really nice in this matchup and super clutch. Next up I have my Torn switch in, so I have a Suicune here, Sub Protect, Toxic Scald, so classic Vincoon stuff. Yeah, Vincoon. So what this does, I can Toxic everything on his team. Nothing really appreciates it except for Shaman. It has Natural Cure, so it's able to take advantage of my Suicune. But what that gives me is a free switch into the Rotom Mow, act as a pivot to like every single move that Shaman can go for, unless it's a Toxic. And I can Trick a Scarf on that thing, because again, he doesn't have switch-ins to the Rotom Mow, so he might as well stay in. I can Trick a Scarf onto that Shaman, and it's going to be really neat for me. So this kind of baits in that Shaman and serves as a real annoyance against his team once Shaman actually goes down. Like, I can switch into Torn, I can Protect, get some lefties back, Toxic, Scald that thing as well. So it's going to be very annoying for him to play around the Suicune if he doesn't have a Shaman intact. So Suicune is going to be really nice here. Next up I have my Lele. Titanium Z, it's a pretty standard set. 3 attack sub. Sub is really nice because I'm able to sub on the Heatran switch or the Drapion switch, and then I'm able to go for whatever I want. I get a pretty free move out. And if I have a sub against the Drapion, I can switch out and not take pursuit damage, so that's really nice for me. Titanium Z kills a Heatran after some chip, like rocks, plus a little bit of chip, I believe. So what I can do is use sub to my advantage. I can see if he's leftovers on the Heatran or if he's Chople. If I don't see an item, I'm going to assume he's Chople, right? So I can use sub on the Heatran. If he wants to switch out into the Torn or Medicham to scout for my Z fight, I'm able to go for a sub and punish his team even more than if I just click Z fight. So yeah, I really like this Lele set. I think it's going to be really good here. And next up, my last member here is going to be that Hippowdon. This is the best Mega Medicham check that I have on my team, except for Kofag. But Kofag doesn't really have a good matchup, man. Like, it just gets punished by like the Torn. It gets rolled down really easily. He's going to bring the Drapion for sure, because he's going to expect my Kofag, and it handles the Lele really well. So I didn't really feel like Kofag was the best mon to bring here, and I'd rather bring Hippowdon, which serves as a really nice rocker. And Rocky Helmet's really good in case he wants to punish me with a U-turn on the Torn. I'm able to use this as a middle ground if I think he's going to go for the U-turn. I can take a Hurricane potentially as well. I can switch into the Garchomp, I can Ice Fang that thing. I can switch into the Medicham and not get two-shot, get a lot of chip on that thing as well, and put in range of a Rotom hit. So overall, this is really nice utility. Gets up rock, switches into Medicham, and gets chip off of his team. So that's exactly what this Hippowdon is for. And yeah, this is my team. It's a pretty fast team builder just because I'm in a hurry to get this up. I forgot to record this, so yeah, I really need to get this up as fast as possible. But yeah, it's a really scary team. I definitely expect like the Shaman, the first 3 Pokemon, Heatran, Araquanid, Drapion. Those are the 6 or 7 that I expect him to bring. But yeah, it's going to be my team. Really looking forward to this battle. It's going to be a huge one here. And I'm going to get connected with Bird on Showdown and jump right into it. And we are back here with the battle against Bird. Good luck, have fun, of course. Again, we are playing on Showdown, and that's what it's looking like to be for the rest of the season. My 3DS doesn't work, if you didn't know, so I'm really sad about it. But hopefully I get a DS soon with a capture card potentially. So I can't guarantee that I'm able to play Wi-Fi this season, but for now, just expect Showdown. I'm sorry for that. But yeah. Bird decides to bring a team consisting of the Mega Medicham, Granbull, Drapion, Torn, Heatran, and the Silvally. So nothing like I expected. Like, Silvally, I don't care about. Granbull, I don't care about. But the other 4, I definitely expected to come. But really, really surprised. No Araquanid, no Garchomp, and especially no Shaman. No Shaman is so good for me, because it allows Gyarados to be a fantastic win con here. I can get Silvally chipped down with my Gyarados. And it looks to be a pretty clean sweep once I get to +1 and Granbull chipped enough as well. Which, those two seem to be like the Gyarados check on his team since he doesn't really have anything else. And I don't really know what his Scarf will be, like Scarf's Horn. I don't really know if he would bring one in general, judging by his team. So it looks really good for me, judging off the matchup. Thank God for no Shaman and Chomp. Those things are scary. But yeah, I'm just going to start the battle right here. Like I said before, I'm just going to lead it with the Excadrill. No reason for me not to. I'm able to punish everything, and since Araquanid isn't here, I don't really have to save this for anything. But right here, he goes for the Z Hurricane, expecting me to switch out, which is definitely a fair play as I miss my Rock Slide, which sucks. But I definitely respect the Z Hurricane play. Like, no one stays in on a Torn expecting like to Focus Blast, because a Focus Blast just completely obliterates me, like straight up. So I need to pick a sack pretty much against the Torn, and Z Hurricane dents my Suicune, puts it in range of another couple of Hurricanes. So Z Hurricane was definitely his best play, but I guess he expected me to switch out in that case. And I was Sash, so no drawback for me. I go for the Rock Slide and miss. Should have ran Rock Tomb, I suppose, but Rock Slide misses suck. But either way, I'm going to sack my Excadrill, like I said before. No Araquanid, and his Rocker's Heatran, which I don't really care about, so not too worried about the Excadrill dying turn 3. So right here I go for the Volt Switch, and I actually crit him, which is really good. That means I don't have to worry about Torn clicking moves against my team anymore, so really, really happy about that. I go into the Hippowdon. I want to see what type Silvally he is, because I think that's going to be the best switch in he has on me. But he goes into the Medicham, which I'm pretty confused about that, as he misses a Toxic, and I go for my Earthquake. So he reveals to be taking that Earthquake really well, probably being calced to live it, probably being calced to live 2 of those. So this is really, really good for me, because one Toxic means that he's not the Medicham set that I'm really worried about. So if I chip this thing down low enough, he's going to be in range of my Rotom-Mow. I mean, he's already in range of my Rotom-Mow, so yeah, this is really good for me. That Medicham set is not what I'm worried about, so Hippowdon already did its job, so that's really good. But missing the Toxic really sucked for him. So I'm just going to go for the Earthquake right here again, seeing as he doesn't really have switch into a Silvally. So he reveals Recover right here. 2 moves right off the bat that I'm not worried about at all, gone on the Medicham, so he probably has Dual Stab as his last 2, as he switches into Silvally Water. So that's really good information for me to know. And he takes a really clean really clean chunk from my Earthquake. So that's really nice, chipping that thing down. As he goes into the Granbull, which was his best play, nice parting shot play. I'm going to go into my Suicune here. He doesn't have Torn anymore, so I'm free to sack the Suicune, did its job without even doing anything. So right here I'm going to double into the Lele, anticipating him to switch out, but Granbull actually goes for a Protect right here, which is really good. But right here I'm going to anticipate him to switch out, because he needs a Granbull to check my Gyarados. But he stays in and goes for a Toxic, which I was pretty confused about, but it works out for me. As he goes for a Pair Off, breaks my sub, and I'm just going to freely Moonblast here, and it catches a Drapion on the switch, get a clean 37% off that thing. So that's me just chipping down his team really nicely. Go into my Hippo, seeing that he's not a Medicham set that I really care about. And he takes Helmy, he takes Sand. And right here, I believe I'm going to get up my Rocks. Is that what it is? Yeah, I get up my Rocks, because this allows me to 2-shot the Drapion with my Lele after Rocks at this point. He switches back in, and it pressures the Silvally to defog, and gives me a free switch in if that's what it decides to go for. So yeah, right here I'm going to go hard into my Rotom-Mow, scouting for a defog or the Surf or whatever he has, but he goes for a defog, so this is really nice for me. He basically has to sack off his Silvally or give me momentum as he goes into Heatran, which is really nice for me, because that means this thing is in range of a Z fight Lele, but I don't want to pull the trigger on that yet. I can just go into my Mega Gyarados, Mega Evolve turn 1, by the way, and I'm able to click Waterfall. Accidentally didn't Mega Evolve, I thought it did, but it didn't end up mattering, as I'm going to 2-shot the Granbull anyways. He's going to sack that anyway, so yeah, I could have gone for D-Dance, didn't think that was a correct play though, but even with the Protect Waterfall, 2 shots is a Granbull, especially in my Mega form. So yeah, Gyarados takes down the Granbull. As he goes into the Medicham, I wanted to keep the Gyarados alive to be able to hit the Heatran, as he reveals a sub here. So this is fantastic information for me, because this means he's either walled by my Mega Gyarados or my Tapu Lele, because I anticipate him to have one or the other of his stab. I don't anticipate him to have like Ice Punch. Either way, that's not the coverage against my team. Ice Punch is not the play. So I definitely anticipate him to have one of those. So I'm just going to try to break his sub here. I don't need Rocks at this point, but that would be nice. Just going to break the sub, prevent it from going for anything too funky against my team. And right here, I believe I'm just going to slack off. I want this thing to be healthy. Health on the hippo would be really nice. Here's for a surf, and right here I'm just going to go for my rock, sack off my hippo pretty much. Because right now I just get in my my Rotom-Mow, I get free momentum, or he sacks off his Silvally as he decides to do that right now. And I go into my Suicune because it's the least useful thing on my team, and he doesn't have really good ways to punish this thing. Medicham is going to be forced to sub or Drain Punch, as you'll see, so he reveals to be pretty much walled by my Tapu Lele, which is good information for me. I'm just going to spam Scald, hoping to sack my Suicune so I can get in Lele for free, because it's obviously walled by my Lele, so I'm just going to spam Scald. Hopefully I burn it, or hopefully I kill it, whatever happens. So I'm going to Scald again, and I don't get the burn either there, but it's fine by me because I didn't just need to Scald again, prevent him from getting up a sub, and I can freely go into my Lele right here. Quick Moonblast against his team, nothing switches in. Drapion gets 2-shot after Rocks, which is really clean. So, or it just dies after Rocks, so that's really nice. Right here, I'm going to go for the sub here, scouting for him to switch into the Medicham on my Z fight, or scouting for a Focus Blast like a normal one. But he goes for a Lava Plume right here, and he reveals the lefty, so this is perfectly fine by me. I'm just going to body my Z fight right here, and I take down the Heatran, and Medicham can't do anything against me except for Toxic. And it doesn't even outspeed, which he shows to be a more bulky variant, and I kill the Medicham with a Moonblast. So that's really nice for me. Lele picking up the last 3 kills of the game. Lele is such a monster, such a beast, so hard to prep for in general. So yeah, GG. So Bird, we moved to 3-3 now in the MPL. So we're making our way back from 1-3, going 500 again. So yeah, we won 2 in a row. Let's keep this up against Aaron, who we are playing next week. In week 7, this is a very pivotal game. Aaron is in our conference. I really want to beat him to be able to help secure my playoff spot, and yeah, just be able to do that. And Aaron is a really good pal of mine, so I'm really looking forward to our battle there. And yeah, that's gonna be the game against Bird. I'm really happy with the way I played. I think I played the best I could, and it definitely showed as we got the 3-0 win. So yeah, just wanted to tell you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. And like always, have a swell day. Peace.